almost falls down. Throws to the end zone. Owen! Owen! Owen!
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change. And it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in the gun, the throw on his left hip. Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good! Touchdown, 49! Vernon Davis with the play of his life. It all comes to this fourth down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle. Broken up by Navarro Bowman. And the 49ers silence the house.
Hey, yo, here we are, Gold-Blooded Podcast. We're just going to cut you into a conversation we were having. Go!
Did you see the story about...
That's how you command a huddle.
Did you see the story about the ratings for Hard Knocks?
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
And did you see AB's tweet?
So
Wait.
No.
Oh, okay.
I need the whole thing.
Okay.
Let me find the story.
Okay.
So the ratings for Hard
Knocks
this year are about equal.
Compared to most years?
Compared to last year. But in Pittsburgh, they're like triple what they've ever been. And so I think it was Pro Football Talk was attributing that to all the Steelers fans waiting for the train wreck of a story that is Antonio Brown.
Yep.
And waiting to watch the wheels come off the fucking train.
Yep.
Which is amazing.
So ridiculous.
Antonio Brown tweets...
Of course he did. Why would he leave it alone? Why would he fucking be an adult?
Hold on. So the headline comes out like, ratings super high after last night's episode in Pittsburgh, you know?
Well, why is he even reading that?
So then he replies or whatever to it or retweets it, and then he puts, my ex still love me.
I'm so glad that he is not on our fucking team.
Yeah.
I could not be.
I'm telling you
right now,
he wouldn't be here.
I'm telling you right now, I would. This is going to sound insane. That I would have. Looking back, I would much rather we signed.
OBJ.
OBJ.
I can't say it.
Because every problem he has is about football and winning football games. And Antonio Brown, it's every fucking day something. Mm-hmm. Like, why is he even getting involved in this fucking story?
Was that what you wanted?
Yeah,
it's so hilarious.
Like, what are you doing, man?
Listening to his affiliates try to justify his actions.
Oh, it's the best.
I listened to KMBR interview with this is really bad that I don't know his name.
Call him Johnny MacPack.
No. Former Niner and Raider linebacker.
Ken Norton Jr.?
No. Fuck.
Navarro Bowman?
No. Older. Fuck. He's the one that. Fuck. Anyway, he's like one of his supporters, and he's like sitting there trying to justify his actions, and he's stumbling over his own words.
Yeah,
he's even having a hard time justifying it. Absolutely insane.
The helmet thing is phenomenal, and everything else about him. He just, I guess he was good. I paid zero attention to him, so I don't know. Was he really?
Yes, he was good.
Was he that good?
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He's like might not be a human.
He ain't no cherry
and
rice.
the thing with the helmet is like everyone that's talking shit about it is not a football player.
What's so impressive about Antonio Brown though is that he's 5'10", didn't play D1 college, had to transfer, ended up being a 5th round.
I know nothing about his play. What's his strength?
His strength is his speed and his endurance. He runs just as fast at the end of the fourth quarter as he does first play.
And he's got hands, I would assume.
Ridiculous hands. Like, he probably is the hardest working off the field. Like, nobody ever, even the biggest hater that knows him personally, does not take that away from him about how hard he works on his craft.
Well, that's good. I like that.
So, the helmet thing
is
the big story because he's a baby for not switching helmets. But no NFL football player is saying that. Not a single one. Mm-hmm. Not a single one. And nobody inside of a team is saying that. Every single person that has a problem with it is outside of football,
Yes.
right? Did you hear Staley's take on it? Because he's a guy that wore that helmet.
I heard Lynch talk about Staley
How
going
it
through something
suctions.
similar.
So Staley says that helmet, that style helmet, suctions to your head. And it holds on tighter to your head. Now, if you're Antonio Brown...
The new style.
No, the old one
The
that they
old
liked.
style.
The one that
Okay.
they liked. That Staley liked and that Antonio Brown liked.
Okay.
Now, if you're Antonio Brown and your strength is what you just said, running fast down the field, and your helmet is bouncing around your fucking head...
Oh, I agree.
It changes your entire game.
That's going to be a
So
nightmare.
if
yeah.
that's what you do... Now, if you're Anquan Bolden and your game is not speed and you're just muscling over people, you probably don't care that much about how your helmet fits. But if you're Antonio Brown and that's your fucking thing, then it probably makes a big difference. Now, I think he's a fucking baby about it, and he's making a bigger scene that needs to be made about it. Like, put the approved helmet on and go to fucking practice.
Yeah, he
until
probably-
you get it sorted
Yes,
out.
agreed.
And my guess is the league is probably more apt to fucking work with you if you're not a cunt about it.
Yes.
Right.
I mean,
Agreed.
just in life, that's how most people are.
Yeah.
You know, when the cop pulls you over, if you go, "What the fuck did you pull me over for?"
But
you're going to
he-
have a rougher go of it. Then here's my license
This
registration.
could have
Hold
been
on.
handled with nobody knowing about
Of course.
Hold on. In his defense, he's done everything his way, and he's gotten everything he's wanted.
for sure.
So you know what? You
Yeah.
can't. I mean,
He
as much
acted
as
like
they've
an
created
asshole.
this baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted out of Pittsburgh.
And he got exactly
what he
what
wanted.
he
Agreed.
wanted more money, they gave him more money.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah. You know.
Agreed.
I mean, fuck. Okay.
Yeah, he's got no reason not to act like
Yeah.
this.
You know. Unfortunately, I hate to
Last
say
year,
it, but
Brady's helmet was going to get discontinued, and they gave him last year as a grace period. Okay, you can wear this for one more year. And what he did was he tried to, instead of using the one more year with the old helmet, he originally tried to try the new helmet for a year and try to get used to it. And halfway through the season, he switched back to his old helmet. He hated it so much.
All these guys last year was a grace period.
Yeah.
Like the Staley helmet.
Well, and that's what's going on right now is that Antonio Brown's helmet that he liked was never outlawed by the league, and he was never given a grace period for it.
what's crazy?
So he's
That's
saying
not what I read. I read that last year was his grace period, and he was told that.
no. All the helmets that they outlawed last year that were on a grace period, according to Florio, that his specific helmet was not tested by the league and was not on the discontinued list.
What's crazy to me is that there's not a company out there that can make something custom that these players fucking love that fits all these rules. You know, it's someone is losing out colossally on $1 billion fucking situation.
Yeah, agreed.
You're right, and I gotta say I back Antonio Brown if that's the case.
It is. And
You're right,
he's
and,
saying
and I have to say I support that. Now I don't support the way he's doing it. Like you said, this could have been all
the
off
way
the
he
radar.
acted in the beginning was a joke, but the grievance that he actually has against the league right
Makes
now
sense.
has merit.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and nobody's taking him serious this time because the first time was such a joke. That's pretty much what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, this is a 49ers podcast, so we'll get there. Just to open up, I got Rob's
Are they
outline here.
Are they playing in the Bay this year?
What?
The Raiders?
Yes, this
Okay.
is their last year before they moved to
Okay.
Vegas.
And this year was like on the cuff, right, or something weird like that.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah.
Well, their lease ran out the year before, I
Right,
believe.
yeah.
And they had to try and convince them to get an
And
extra
there was
year
talking
out
of
of
playing
it.
in Santa Clara.
Yeah, for a year. So we signed quarterback Quentin Rollins.
That's a punching bag.
That is, well, not only is it definitely a punching
Yeah.
bag, but I mean, I don't know if you're getting through a game with Wilton Spate.
Yeah, I think this is get him up to speed so game 4 he can take a beating.
And then Seattle will sign him for a week.
Yes. We waived cornerback Greg Maven, thank God.
That's like the 5th time we've waived him.
Yeah, I know. It's just, he can't play. He can't play. Wide receiver Sean Poindexter tore his ACL. He was waived. And
You can't waive it. I guess I can.
Weston
It's called,
Richburg.
it's called waived injured. Like there's a different.
Yeah.
I think they come to a settlement. I think they pay him or something.
I will say, probably the second most important man to this offense right now. Weston Richburg center is hoping to get him back at practice next week, as we discussed a little bit in the first episode. He needs to come back. And along with our right guard, Mike Person, he suffered a stress fracture in his foot, but they say he's day-to-day, and he's hopefully ready for Saturday.
I think they should probably. Well, if Jimmy's out there, then maybe he should get out there. But I think you'd want
that line looks so bad, they better get out there.
I know, but I would think you'd want that stress fracture to heal as much as possible,
I agree.
Steven. You don't want him a lingering foot issue, Breda, you know?
I'm glad I don't have to make that call.
Okay.
We signed offensive lineman Andrew Lauderdale, safety Tyree Robinson, and wide receiver Chris Thompson. We waived offensive lineman Christian DeLauro and running back Brendan Wilds, Brendan Wilds was pretty much the punching bag in the first game and the end of this last game.
Cough it out.
And Jimmy Ward practiced today and should play this week in the preseason game. So,
he was fucked up a while ago, too.
that was that. And we signed, obviously, I talked a little bit about Sam Young, the offensive tackle that we signed this past week.
That was before the game?
Yeah, before
Okay,
he played in the
I
game.
didn't see that.
And he played terribly.
I didn't go back before the game, but I guess I
Right.
should have went back to the last episode.
Hey, what happened to the gay kid that came out? Michael Sam.
He played a few games.
Didn't he go to AAF or
I
X
think
or
he
maybe
did.
CFL? Maybe
How come no one's kneeling for him?
I would kneel for him.
For gay rights?
I
I
don't
would-
think it was.
I can't believe the NFL blackballed him for being gay and no one's kneeling.
I would kneel right in front of him. No, I don't think he was just good. I just don't think he was good enough, Rob. Unfortunately, he was not that good.
Interesting.
Nick Bosa is out of the walking boot, and they're saying that they're still hoping for week 1. I don't like that word, hoping.
I don't
want him
think he
week 1.
plays week 1.
Possible.
I don't think so. Don't
If the
get-
defense comes out and smashes this
With-
week again, then let him sit. Let's go slow.
I agree.
Especially if we're getting D Ford.
And Tampa can suck my dick. Who's their quarterback? Winston?
Now Quan Alexander's gonna run through that fucking offense.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck
He's
someone.
fucking dying to run.
He's
through that.
dying to
and
kill-
if you don't think every day of practice he's amping up the whole defense to smash them,
I'm surprised that he is going to play this week.
He
He tore his ACL in October.
He wants to rape Jameis Winston.
every day I guarantee you at practice he's telling every person on the defense to be ready for week 1.
He wants
saw-
to rape him like it's prison.
And it's not even like they really did anything, right? He was a free agent.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
That's how I would be.
I read an article that
This is my new team.
that said that Quan Alexander is basically everything that the 49ers thought they were getting with Reuben Foster. They just, instead of having...
Just a lot less woman beating.
Well, yeah.
Gun-toting.
And a lot more expensive. Instead of having Reuben Foster, who was on a cheap rookie deal for 4 years, we had to shell out hand over fist to get Quan
Yeah,
Alexander
like
here.
slightly unhinged, but like
Yeah.
this guy enough to keep like that unhinged. That's fun still, not gonna put an AK to
I think
a
that-
19-year-old gal's throat.
Quan Alexander's playing style is reckless. He misses tackles, but he also makes ridiculous plays at the same time. He's 100% boom or bust. And Freddie is just as steady as they come. I think that those two are going to complement each other very well and be a really nice tandem.
You think Steady Freddy just slow pumps his old lady for like an hour? It's just the same motion for like an hour straight. Same tempo, same speed, just looking her in the eye.
They don't call me Steady Freddie for
Just
nothing.
constant drilling. Destroying some poor white girl. About a quarter of his weight. Third.
I don't even want to bring it up, but I feel obligated to. My phone almost broke the day that Jimmy Garoppolo threw 5 straight interceptions in a practice.
We're talking about practice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good for the defense because he's playing against a Pro Bowl defense.
A lot of the reporters that have noticed that Shanahan is very football acumen savvy, where you do what I tell you to do. There's defined reads, and then Jimmy is more like a improviser, more of a gunslinger. Thinks that his arm can always get him out of trouble, where he not only does Shanahan need to learn to let Jimmy do his thing, Jimmy needs to learn, take a sack, throw the ball away. Throwing an interception is literally the worst thing you can do.
Yep.
I think he'll get that memo pretty
And
quick.
also field position.
Yes.
Throwing an interception in the middle of the field on their 5 as opposed to taking a sack and settling for a field goal is not as bad, but not as bad as throwing a pick 6 on your own 5.
Yeah.
And also, it's the fourth quarter and you're down by a score trying to catch up, and you throw the ball.
Could we mention Bobby Gold looking strong in the preseason?
He always looks
Because
strong.
that's just something that, regardless preseason anything, that's good. Did you see the?
Yeah, I know. There's no difference between kicking and preseason and regular season. So that's like
Trying
that's like
something
the,
new.
That's
like
the one
the
thing, yeah.
the special team specialist. Like that's the one thing you can actually grade in the preseason.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's real.
Yeah. Did you see the soccer gal drilling 55-yarders?
No.
Carly Lloyd, maybe was her name.
Yeah, not all that impressed.
55?
Yeah, what did I hit, 52? I mean, Jesus Christ. And I have 0 athletic ability at all.
I don't know about that, Rob. I think you were like a 42.
Okay. I have zero. I'm 40 years old. I have zero athletic ability. I'm fat. I'm overweight. And no one ever taught me how to kick anything. But she's a fucking athlete.
But the one thing is they are on the smaller goals. I'm not saying.
Oh, good for her.
Okay.
She sounds like a fucking loser.
She's only.
Was there a defense there blocking her?
No, she's
No,
only.
she's a fucking joke.
Yeah, she's only won a couple World Cups.
Yeah, good for her. She's not a fucking NFL kicker.
No, but that was
Field
the
goal
argument that they were making. They were like, should the Bears really look at her?
That's a joke. That's the same story as
they
Jimmy
should.
throwing interceptions in practice.
Yeah.
That's the same fucking story. They have nothing to fucking write about. Not a chance. Imagine someone blindside fucking blocking her on a fucking kickoff. Jesus Christ. Imagine the outrage. Oh,
She'd have to go somewhere else.
This has been percolating for a few weeks now, is that Shanahan's tone has suggested we might not get the second-year jump from Dante Pettis that we were all hoping for, and he is starting to come under fire from fans on the internet.
So whack.
Dude, the fact that there was a fan out there that got an autographed football from Dante Pettis and then posted the picture saying, "Look at my autographed football from Dante Pettis," while also saying, "I'm not sure that he likes football as much as he likes cats."
the definition of a mark.
And then continue
100%.
doubling down, quadrupling down by going on and saying, have any of you ever seen Pettis post a workout video or talk about football on Twitter?
I wish that all football players would post nothing about football.
Yes.
Like, don't post anything inside our weight room. Don't post anything. I don't want anyone to see anything we're doing football related. I wish they all posted their cats. And that's it, and nothing else.
I definitely have I followed Pettis probably closer than a lot of people, I would say. You know, I've seen all his different, he has one photography only Instagram, his YouTube channel.
There's fans that cannot stand that he's different and posts weird videos.
yeah.
Oh, that's nothing new.
It's like,
so
really?
I would think he'd be the most accepted with the San Francisco fan
You would
base.
think.
But whatever, nevertheless.
Those are the people that think that there should be only male and female bathrooms and nobody should ever be. I shouldn't have to go in the bathroom with someone that's transgender. They were born a woman and they can't be a man and come in my bathroom. It's the same fucking people.
Who cares?
Just closed-minded fucking retards.
Just piss. You
R
want
words.
piss. I don't care. Just be piss.
Yeah.
Preferably in my mouth. It's all good,
The fact that Pettis is not being showcased in the preseason tells me that Shanahan knows what he's got and that he's going to be a starter.
I definitely think that there's something to this. I definitely think that Pettis is struggling a little bit. And this is from The Athletic. I'll read it verbatim. This is from Barrows. During the 2-day session, it seems as if the Broncos defenders especially relished challenging Pettis. And then this is Shanahan. Dante's getting challenged every day from our own team and from teams that play him. Dante's a talented guy, and if people just sit back on him, he's going to make anybody miss. Guys are challenging him, so he's starting to get used to that a little bit more. He hasn't been great at it right away, but that's the challenge for him in this camp. He's been up and down with it, but I like what I'm seeing from him, and he's not backing away. He's fighting, and I think he's better now than he was 2 weeks ago. He basically just admitted that all of the stories that were coming out were 100% true, but at the same time saying, I see encouragement.
Yeah. I mean, he's also, when he's out there, Kittle's not out there, right?
Yes.
So that changes the whole dynamic of a defense.
Yeah.
When Kittle's, it's all just.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe it will be somewhat of a sophomore slump. You know what I mean? It happens to a lot of great fucking players. Maybe he's just whatever.
But all the fans that are saying that he doesn't like football enough are now going to be justified by that. By if he had a sophomore slump, it's because he doesn't love football enough.
Well, then they could see me.
Good
They
for
could
them.
see me in the goddamn street. What do you think
No.
about that?
Agreed.
The other thing is, all the Denver challenging him and pushing his buttons.
Yeah.
That could be Shanahan telling Fangio to do that to him.
Could be.
Like, I want this guy to step up. I need him to be the guy.
Let's
Push his
ta-
buttons.
yeah,
Let's
let's
see what
see
he's
where
got.
he's at, yeah.
Let's fucking see what he's got. All the coaches went out and got together before the first practice, Shanahan said. So do you think they're not talking about all that stuff? I mean, him and Scangarello he's got to be about as tight with him as anybody else. It was his quarterback coach.
Right.
So why wouldn't they be scheming that stuff? I mean, that's the stuff that's what they say is so great about this stuff. You can set up everything that you want that you can't set up normally. It just happens. You can set up 3rd and 6 with this much time on the clock from this yard line. You get to really write the script on every play. So to think that they're not saying test this guy, push this guy, do that, dude.
For sure. Yeah.
Let's see what
one
Sherman's,
of the things they have control over.
Yeah,
You know.
let's see
for
what
sure.
Sherman's got in the legs. Throw to his side.
Yeah. Can we
Next
actually
4
test?
plays.
Yeah. Can we actually test?
Don't
Sherman?
tell him,
Yeah.
but throw 4 balls straight at him. Let's see what he does. I mean, you can't fucking make that shit up.
Yeah.
That's great. That's the best stuff you can do. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
John Lynch claims that they haven't had any talks at all with anybody about possibly trading Beathard or Mullins.
Good.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna have to do something.
I go back and forth on whether I would be willing to deal Mullins. Nobody's trading for CJ Beathard.
I
know
think
Mullins has trade value.
I think Beathard gets stashed on the practice squad, and I don't think anybody claims him.
I don't know if he's
I think
clear waivers bad.
The
I
problem
definitely think he could get claimed.
The problem is carrying a 3rd quarterback has nothing to do with the quarterbacks.
Yes.
It has everything to do with how
Roster
everyone else is
spots,
healthy
yeah.
and where we are.
They
We
would
can
love
only
to. They
have
would love
50
to more than
100%.
anything. Yeah.
I think the
So-
roster sizes are a complete joke. How can
Yeah.
you expect these teams to only trot out 53 players when you have 22 starters and 22 backups? That makes up 44 players. That only leaves you with...
And that's not special teams.
And that's not even dressing.
It should-
53, only 49 dress.
It should be.
It is a joke.
It
How
should
can you
be
preach
It
player
should be
health?
66 with 60 dressed.
How can you preach player health and see that go on? Where there's only you're only one and a half deep at every single position? I mean, come on.
That's my take. 66 with 6 dressed.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
It's 53. That's a joke.
Why are we limiting who can dress anyway?
Exactly.
If they're on the team, why can't they dress? It
Right.
doesn't make any fucking
It
sense.
makes no sense.
No, because I think you have to limit how many available players you have for a game.
Right, then that's the number
Then
you have
that's
on
the
your
number
roster.
of rosters.
Oh.
Why are we giving extras that can't put a uniform on? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's goofy.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
And they preach player health,
I mean, that's what the practice squad is for. Those are guys that practice but don't play.
but
Yeah.
yet players would be less likely to get hurt if they would get spelled more often. But you can't
course.
spell a starter if you don't have backup. Like,
It's stupid.
it's retarded.
R word, Steve. R word.
You're right. I gotta stop using that.
Oh,
I just said it 7 seconds ago.
Fuck you, you fucking Riri. My cat's name is Riri. Get the actual fuck out of here.
That's kind of all I got as far as news, but I do have a mystery quote.
Ooh.
It's a good one. I'm hoping that you guys don't know it. All right, so this is a current coach in the NFL talking about a player that he
Belichick.
coached.
Did you say that again?
Bill
When-
Belichick.
When I got there in 2009, he wanted to take every rep in practice. He wouldn't let anyone else take a rep. His former coach said, so later in the first week, I tried to sneak somebody else in, and he wouldn't let
I
me.
read the quote. I can't
He wouldn't
remember.
come off the field, would take every rep. Then it happened in a game. He wouldn't come out of the game. I said, if you don't come out, I'm going to have to come out there and drag you off the field.
I read the quote and I read this and I don't remember who it was. Is it
Vic Fangio about Joe Staley.
Nope.
Frank Gore?
Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah. I don't remember.
That
who
was
it about.
Tom Rathman on Frank Gore.
that's great.
Yeah. I've seen him talk about it too. Like, I've seen videos where they interview Frank Gore. He goes, man, it was 2011. We were having that magical year with Harbaugh, like fucking great year that nobody really saw coming. And it was a promo before our first playoff game. And they were, you could just tell Frank was so happy that the team was good again. And they asked him,
good and for once.
yeah, good for once.
Yeah.
And they asked him, what do you think about when you reflect on all those years with the 49ers where, you guys were not good? And he goes, man, back then, I wanted to take every rep. I wanted to take every snap. I wouldn't let another player touch the football ever. He goes, but now we're winning. I got Kendall behind me, Kendall Hunter. He goes, we're doing this shit.
I just wish that the one interview is not up anymore.
Did you ever hear the Steve Young story about Holmgren yelling at him and he just
No.
pretended not to hear him?
No.
Yeah, I forget. I don't know if it was in the book
I don't know,
or if
yeah.
it was on one of the KMBRs, but he's talking about Holmgren yelling at him to do something, and he just turns his back in the huddle and pretends he doesn't hear him, and he's just getting louder and louder, and he just pretends he has no idea. He's like, shut up, ignore him, pretend you don't hear him, like to the guys in the huddle.
Yeah.
So great.
All right. So where are we at there, Christo Per?
24 minutes.
All right, we got a couple Mattersons, right?
Nope.
No, we did those already?
Yeah.
Did those already. We got
2 short ones.
Monday? When did we record last?
Sunday, but
yeah, last Sunday. Well, no, the Sunday before last Sunday. 2 Sundays ago.
we only
I'm
have
a-
2 emails from one guy.
Real question. I'm gonna entertain.
Wait, Matterson emailed us 3 days ago.
He did?
Too long.
Oh, we did?
Too long.
Oh, we do have Matterson's.
Yeah, you guys are fucking
I'm
dumb.
gonna entertain the idiocy of the Jimmy Garoppolo talk. What is the earliest you could ever imagine a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo is scratched for Nick Mullins?
The earliest?
Earliest possible.
I can't.
Healthy Jimmy Garoppolo getting benched. Like you're talking this year? Like he just comes out and he's just a train wreck?
Yeah,
Like an absolute
how
train
much?
wreck.
Like bad.
Like
Like Kaepernick against the Cardinals.
No,
Two
like
pick sixes
like
in the
that,
first minute.
Like that last game for
a quarter, a half,
Week
3
4.
quarter. How far?
Week 4.
So he gets 3 weeks of playing like that.
We have an early bye this year. 4?
Yeah.
Week 4 is our bye. Then he gets 3 games and then...
That's fair.
I mean, I'll tell you what. People... the league is so much more under a microscope now than it was back in 2006. Drew Brees got benched multiple times in San Diego by... Was it Schottenheimer? And they ask him about it now. He goes... Yeah, he pulled me for a game so I can see what the fuck was going on, what the fuck I was doing wrong, and it helped me. But yet, if you do that today...
Oh, it's a big thing.
It is the...
I don't think Jimmy gets pulled, even if it's a train wreck, until 6.
I gotta agree with you on the bye.
Yeah.
It would have to be really, really bad.
Like you said Kaepernick versus the Cardinals bad.
Yeah.
Like
it
Nathan
would have to be
Peterman,
bad.
5 interceptions.
Like we're not
in
even
one
watching
half.
the second half of the game.
Yes.
Like it would have to be that bad.
Yeah.
We're beating our wives, kids, and cats and dogs.
Well, yeah, I don't do that, but
But if he did
That's
get
your
benched, if he did get benched early, it wouldn't be permanent benching. He would be back out there week 6, week 7, get him back out there. See
depending
if,
on what Mullins does.
depending on what
you
Mullins
go on a winning
does.
streak, nobody's coming out.
Yeah, if he's just like kind of like mediocre Nick Mullins, who we all think he is,
But
then
if we're winning games, it doesn't matter
That's
how
who
mediocre
you think he is. I know who he is. He's a goddamn winner.
all right. I like Nick Mullins. If I had to choose between Mullins and Beathard, I don't even have to think twice about it. It's Mullins.
Oh.
But yeah, Jimmy doesn't concern me. It's the offensive line that concerns me.
I agree. I actually agree with Steve. And I'm not. It doesn't concern me, but I'm extremely curious, like I said in round 1, about the running back position. And is it going to be what's Tevin Coleman or whatever? What's his name? Tevin.
Tevin.
Trevin. I'm curious to see what he's going to do and if he'll produce or what his role is going to be.
Oh, I think
He's
he'll
the starter.
definitely produce. Our running game so far this preseason has been perfect.
He's for sure the starter.
Brado.
Brady, yeah.
No, he's second.
He's
No.
he'll-
But it's gonna be like it was when we had Breda and
Mozart.
at the height of their where one of them is running better in the first quarter, they're gonna play the second quarter.
Yeah.
And until they show signs that
Yeah.
they're getting tired, then they're gonna keep running the ball.
Whoever's got the
Yeah, we're not
flow,
about. It's
yeah.
not about stats.
Last year, Shanahan went through so many running backs, and he basically went out this year and said, that's not happening to me again. I need multiple running backs. I love Breda, but I can't do everything I want with Breda. I think it's going to be like, 3 guys, 45% Coleman, 35% Breda, and the rest divvied up between one guy, maybe 2.
And then you get some wide receiver runs in there.
Yeah,
Jalen
you got Deebo
Hurd,
Samuel is pretty much a running back or a wide receiver in a running back's body.
Drew Hurd.
Yeah, Jalen Hurd. Can't forget about him. He can run the rock
That's right, Papa.
very well, actually.
All right, so we'll tell the people to email us in. Tell us who you think should be running the rock down their fucking throats, right? Who do you think?
Everybody.
That's right.
Shanahan was saying today. Somebody asked him about the preseason game 3, I think they said, or game 4, whatever they said about the wide receivers and how it benefits them or something. And he was saying how it's different for every player. How some players need the reps to get going, and some people need. And he was saying, you've got some guys out there that you've got to teach them that it's not about trying to kill everyone on every play. And you knew right away he was talking about Hurd, just the way he said it, because we've never had that guy. Like, just the way he said, some guys are out there, and you got to teach them that they don't have to kill everyone on every play.
What I
Physically hurt your teammates.
What I thoroughly enjoyed is, even after Garoppolo's horrendous outing this past week, after he threw the interception, the camera went to the sideline to show him, and him and Staley were talking and laughing. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, there's a lot of pressure on him, and he knows that, but I think that he can handle it. Like, he strikes me as the kind of guy that is, he knows how to be a franchise quarterback. He knows how to act like a franchise quarterback. And I think
saw Brady do it as well.
Exactly.
Firsthand, yeah.
I mean, could you ask for a better mentor?
Shanahan was also saying that you take the whole population and you narrow it down to the people that have the ability to play quarterback well, the accuracy, the athleticism, whatever it takes
mental
to
processing.
Actually do it. And you take that group, and now from that group, you don't know who's going to actually do it until they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the amount of time that Garoppolo's done it, we still don't know for real.
Yes.
Like, it's such a short window of playing time. You know, Alex Smith was in that group. He had all the ability to do it. How many other quarterbacks got drafted because they had the ability to do it and just never did it? It was really interesting to think about it that way. That, like, that's what makes Tom Brady, is he does it during a football game while the bullets are flying, no matter what's happening.
Reflecting on last year, Jimmy's 2.5 games that we saw, Week 1 against the Minnesota's a good team. Jimmy was Week 2 against Detroit, yeah, we won the game. Should have lost. We got lucky on the callback on the interception. A horrible throw that Jimmy threw. That would have lost us that game. We won, but still, meh. First half against Kansas City, we're getting blown out. Jimmy looks meh. But then in that second half, he starts finally finding a groove. Granted, you could say we're playing against a soft defense. They were up by double-digit points, but
he was making a game of that.
I remember thinking at the time he got it to within 7.
Yeah,
we were only down 7. I remember thinking at the time, even if we lose this game, this half is the most important half in the entire season.
I think when he got hurt, they were down by 10, but he was going in.
Yeah,
he was on the 3.
And I think that we've only seen Jimmy in a 5-game stretch, and then in a 2.5-game stretch
and
where
he's never played a long stretch
over the
of games
course
in a
of
row.
an entire season. Look at every single quarterback; they all have hot streaks and cold. Look at Drew Brees last year; he had a really cold streak. While in the beginning of the year, people were talking him as an MVP candidate. Like, there's so many seasons within a season that Jimmy Garoppolo has only played one season within a season.
Surface, yeah.
Like, you need to see him over the course of numerous games to actually find out who he is. We still don't know who he is.
I
Nick
know
Mullins
who
has
he
started
is.
more games now.
Same, identical,
I know who Jimmy G is.
but all in one stretch.
Yeah.
Jimmy's is all broken
Yep.
up. 2 games with New England, 5 games with the Niners, and then not
I know,
all in one season.
I know who Jimmy G is.
Who is he?
He's a coxman. He's gonna get it done. I'm telling you, he's gonna bring the ring to the home.
I haven't lost faith in Jimmy at all. If you had to make me commit right now
Have
to
you
him
ever
for like 6 more years, I'll do it.
I love that. Can we just say I absolutely love that Jimmy Garoppolo is the answer. We're gonna win a Super Bowl because of Jimmy Garoppolo, but we're not. The jury's out on Shanahan and Lynch because they signed Jerick McKinnon. Now, mind you, they traded a 2nd-round draft pick for Jimmy Garoppolo, who's going to bring us a Super Bowl.
No, there's other
The
reasons.
dualities of that insanity is not lost.
I'll say this though. I mean,
you're a crazy person.
how much have we bitched about Robert Saleh this year? Or not this year, in the past?
Yeah, well,
Quite a bit, huh?
I bitched it.
We've let him have it a few
Shanahan
times.
for hiring him.
What if Robert Saleh trots out a top 5 defensive unit this year?
What if?
Well, he's got 15 number 1
What if
draft
every
picks.
defensive?
Right, but
what
still.
if every defensive coordinator in the entire league of the NFL could trot out a top 5 defense with the players that we have?
Yes.
Yeah, I could.
That's not him.
I bet I could trot out a top half defense.
I would just go, hey, you guys are all really good. Go do your job.
destroy.
See, this is the point I'm getting to, is these past 2 years we've been bitching at a guy who's been handed a team that just wasn't ready to be good yet.
See, But
They're
hold
just
on.
not
But that's
ready
what
yet.
makes you good.
If I was the defensive coordinator,
Agreed. There are exceptions.
That's what sets you aside.
listen, if I was the DC, I would institute bounties again immediately, Greg Williams style, right away. That's what would push us over the top.
But are you going to keep firing your average defensive coordinator to go in pursuit of a special one?
No, I'm not a rash decision maker like that, anyways. But to be clear, it wasn't. Was it Salah's decision to go with the new defensive front we're running?
No, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
he's just a puppet.
Yeah.
He's a puppet.
But
When you get told what to do and then you do it,
That's
you're
what
not-
I'm wondering,
that's not
though.
your
Has he
team.
always been a puppet, or did he just become one this year?
Yeah,
He's a poopy
who knows?
poop.
I think he might have just
He's
became
a
one this
poopy
year.
poop.
Because if Jim Harbaugh said to Vic Fangio, "This is what you're going to run for a defense," Vic Fangio would have been like, "Go get a new fucking DQ." I'm not doing it then. Like Vic Fangio wouldn't have just fallen in line and done that.
Yeah.
A different scheme than what he does.
Robert Saleh lays down.
I'm happy Vic finally got a head coaching job. I just don't think it's going to last too long.
No.
I have no faith in
Because John
Flacco.
Elway, because John Elway is a twat and Flacco is a cunt.
I got no faith in Flacco. I got no faith in Drew Lock.
Poo poo, he's a poo poo.
What if they trade for Mullins?
I tell you what, I have more faith in Mullins than I do Flacco and Drew Lock.
I would agree with that.
100%.
I disagree.
I hate Flacco, always have. All he could do is throw a long ball. Can't move. He moves
He's
like
got a Super Bowl MVP trophy.
Fuck him.
He moves like a grandma.
He just so happened to play the best game of his career in the biggest game of his career.
Yeah, with Ray Lewis on the other side, killing people.
Our fucking top
I'll
two
take that.
defensive unit just so happened to save their worst performance of the year for the biggest game of the year.
Oh, that time.
And Chris fucking Culliver gave up, 3 touchdowns? Let's move on to emails. I'm getting mad.
All right, well, you say about the emails and stuff.
Please email us. It definitely helps us add some good content to the show.
Because
we
we're fully Riri's.
we enjoy hearing from the people more than we enjoy hearing ourselves. Or at least I can say that. I don't know about Joe. He refers to himself in the third person. So
Daddy's here.
email us, goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to donate to our show to show your appreciation of what we do here,
Or pay for my oral dental work.
or that, you could do that at patreon.com/goldbloodedpodcast. Donate as little as $1 a month, as much as $1 billion a month.
Hashtag it Daddy's Dental.
And what else do we have? I think that's it. Go to the Instagram, Curran. I got to see more out of you, buddy. But go check us out, Gold Blooded Podcast.
Okay. So the first email we're going to read to you people is from the heartbeat of our universe at the GBP. If you don't know
it's
him,
safe to say the heartbeat of the franchise.
yeah, if you don't know him, his name is Matt Matterson. He's a dick slinger from out west who just scorches the email inbox with straight heat for every season since he's been emailing in.
Let's slow down on the dick slinging.
Yeah, maybe he's not slinging dicks, but he's a sweetheart of a human, and we love him. Matty Matt has to say, no subject. You guys brought up how many impressive Jalen Hurd and Deebo Samuel are after the first preseason game. I want to chime in with my thoughts. I watched the highlights, and they were. Hurd is an aggressive receiver that will get more yards or get that touchdown before he is tackled. That would be a great weapon to use when the offense is 10 or 15 yards away from a TD. And Jordan Matthews is not wide open.
He
in
gave
the
you
end
options.
zone.
It's either Matthews with 2 T's or Matthews with 1 T.
So, I think what Matt's trying to say here is if Jordan Matthews is being covered
In the end zone.
in the end zone, or if Matthews is being covered in the end zone,
Is not wide open.
right when
Not being covered, not wide
right
open.
when
In
they're
the
10
end
or
zone.
15 yards out,
In the end zone.
he could look to one of the rookies, either Debo or Jalen. You heard
Where's that? In the
You heard.
end zone.
In the end
correct.
zone.
Did you do that on purpose, or was that an accident?
Purpose.
Okay. I didn't know we had a new thing.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Did you heard that?
Nickname was
You haven't heard that?
You heard?
He's been going on that.
No, I just bought it now.
He's been on that since the beginning.
Nice.
If you actually go back to the draft,
back, yeah.
the draft, I did it too.
Nice.
So, yeah. You heard me. Debo, on the other hand, I like the quickness and using him for the jet sweeps. He did another jet sweep for 45 yards against Denver. Run, Debo, run.
The best part about Debo is that Jalen Hurd is the bruiser, not the guy named Debo.
Right.
Like, that's the whole best part.
Yeah.
Like, defenses hear Debo, and then Jalen Hurd smashes him upside the head.
Yes.
I know Joey I is not a fan of Dante Johnson, but that diving
That's not his
interception
name.
was nice.
That's not his name. That's only half of his name.
Yeah, it is
forgot
Dante
his
Big Dick
middle name.
Johnson. I did not forget it, Mr. Matterson. You know, Matterson, he's not going to use that type of language, but it's fine. One more thought on the Broncos game. We haven't seen a lot of the starters on defense side, so we have been watching a lot of second and third string guys make some nice sacks. I'm very hopeful that this gets the first string energized for week 1 in Tampa. I am out. Really. Debo.
So our automated response options for that email are A,
I don't think we know.
I agree with you. B, I agree, exclamation point. Or C, sounds good to me.
I don't think we do anything.
Nothing? Okay.
We don't do that.
Maybe next time?
No, we don't want people to then expect that shit from us. Come on.
It's just for matters.
I mean, not everybody is Matterson.
Well, Matterson's got more to say, so maybe we could send something in on this.
One more final thought.
All right. Okay. So the title is Wisnowski. One more final thought from the Denver game. Mitch Wisnowski made an impressive hit to Denver's kick returner on a kickoff. Can we give him Mitch Hit or Mitchy Hit as a nickname?
Our options.
Well, Matt, we'll consider those, but we're also going to do some brainstorming on this ourselves as we
How about Hitnowski?
Hitnowski.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So our options for this one are love it, exclamation point, yes, exclamation point, or I don't think so.
I'm going to have to go with C. But you do what you're comfortable with.
That's what we did.
Next.
All right, so we have an email from a man named Enrique Sanchez. Is he a friend of yours, Steven?
No.
No? Rob?
I don't know.
Chris, you know Enrique? Okay. It's not the Enrique we know. He has a different last name. Jimmy GQ is the title. Come on, Jimmy. Was my first reflecting to the game. Yes, he didn't look good, but here are some observations. It's been almost a year since he has thrown a ball in a game, as he mentioned in his press conference. The line looked horrible. Chubb causing havoc.
Yeah, I did not mention that at all. Bradley Chubb is a man.
Staley looked slow. It might be my optimism, but I think we might still be on track to winning the Super Bowl. If mistakes will happen, let them happen in preseason, then in the season. Let me know if I'm being too optimistic here. No, I completely
Of course
agree,
not.
Enrique. Absolutely not. I would have to, but I'm also going with the 16-0 again. So
Oh, don't forget.
We got to do our bold prediction.
Week 4. After week 4 of the preseason game, you might not like that game. You might not like this episode, but you should tune in for our bold predictions.
oh, I got to think about. I like the
Start
bold,
thinking about
I
them.
like my bold NFL predictions because I am always so close to getting them.
Are you guys going to give me money again this year? We going to do some pools?
Yeah.
Cool.
I love doing pools.
I like making money.
We'll see what happens. All right. Other observations from Enrique Sanchez. He has another email. He's a double emailer. Enrique, we love you.
4 hours later, I love that he was like, you know what?
Well,
you know what?
yeah.
I got more for these
We
guys.
get back
Yeah.
to these cunts.
If the
All
rest
right.
of the listeners work half as hard as Enrique, we'd be loaded with emails.
Yeah, we
Yes,
might do
we
all
would.
right this year. All
Half
right.
as hard. I like
half
that.
as hard.
Just half as hard.
Yeah, one email.
Was
Just
it
one
me
email.
or did Beathard have a better game than Mullins? Not that Mullins had a bad game. Many starters didn't play. Mozart looked good. Wasn't he injured?
Mozart.
Mozart. Yes.
For the record, Enrique spelled it correctly. Mozart.
He's gonna be Mozart now. Fuck yeah. My guy. The conductor. Pettis didn't have any receptions. This was concerning.
He was only targeted once, and nobody had any receptions on the first team.
He probably came out after Jimmy came
He
out.
did.
Right? Yeah, not concerning. Rookie wide receivers
Oh,
looked good.
He was wide open on a breaking route that a ball got batted down. It would have been an easy completion to Pettis.
He should have got in front of the lineman. and
Yes,
caught it.
pushed him out of the way and then still caught the
The
ball.
lineman, that's right. Rookie wide receivers look good. Secondary struggled with Sanders. Any thoughts?
Just DJ Reed struggled with Sanders. A lot of people are going to struggle with Sanders. He's a really good receiver.
You guys probably talked about this in the first episode, but I keep hearing Joe to email, so I am.
All right. Supported.
That's good. P.S. Another note, I forgot to mention on defense of Jimmy GQ. Oh, in defense of Jimmy GQ. Well, on defense of Jimmy, right. Broncos knew the Niners' play scheme since they practiced together for a week. Very good, Enrique. You're a very observant young man. I like what you bring to the table. I like your bullet point style emails.
Very readable.
Yeah, very readable for a Riri like
well
me.
done.
I love bullet points.
Well done, Enrique.
Then maybe next time we'll let you read it.
I've noticed that people's attention spans are getting shorter, so if you just send one long rambling paragraph, they're likely to tune you out, whereas if you send points, people are more likely to actually read what you have to say.
Text culture.
Yes.
I'm not taking advice from Steve on anything. With that said, everybody have a great week. If you know any Chiefs fans, make sure you spit in their soup this week. And, yeah. Finger me silly. Good night.